A lot of the ETs that are here, in fact, most of the ETs are desperately trying to get out. They do not want to be in our solar system at all because they are expecting something. They're expecting something to happen that is quite profound, something that is a game changer beyond imagination. What am I talking about? I'm talking about what many of us are now calling the event. It is predicted in multiple ancient cultures. If you look in the Zoroastrian tradition, they call it Phraso-Karerti. And if you look at it in Hinduism, they call it the Samavartika fire at the end of an age. The space program people have studied this extensively. It shows up all over the place with alchemy, with the work of Falconelli. There are many, many different ways that you can see the prophecies of this. In the Bible, it's called the glory of the Lord that shineth from the east unto the west. What we're talking about appears to be some sort of solar emanation. And this is not a typical coronal mass ejection, which happens all the time. We're talking about something equivalent to a photographic flashbulb going off. A very brilliant burst of light. The people in the space program have studied this. They've gone out with their ships. They've looked at this cloud. You're going to hear Corey talking about that in the Cosmic Disclosure show that you can watch here on this network. So they have studied the energy. They know that it's vibrating a lot more quickly. They know that we're moving into this energy. They know there's nothing they can do to stop it. And what my insider Jacob told me all the way back in December 2009 is that what I thought was going to happen at the end of 2012, i.e. the Mayan calendar end date, which does signify the calendrical end, as in calendar-based calendrical, the calendrical end of a 25,920 year cycle of a wobble in the Earth's axis that all the ancient prophecies were talking about. That event, calendrically, is December 21st, 2012. But then what Jacob told me is that the resulting springboard event, this solar blast, actually happens 5 years later in 2017. Now, why in the hell did I not tell anybody this when I heard it all the way back in 2009? Especially because I was Mr. 2012. 2012 is going to be amazing. 2012 Enigma, 2012 Event Horizon. Those are titles of two of my videos. I did not want to say this because I knew that if anybody else came forward who had the same date, they wouldn't have been contaminated by me. I also had no idea what was really going to happen. I wanted to believe that something would happen at the end of 2012. I was quite disappointed when it didn't. And actually, that really made me think about things differently. And one of the first things I did after December 2012 is take this job, because I said I need to do as much as I can to get the information out there. Because Jacob told me that it was going to be in 2017, and now that we've missed 2012, that means I still got 5 years to do this stuff. But the event itself is a very interesting thing because of what the ancient prophecies say. Part of what may be happening is that reality bifurcates into two different timelines, and one timeline is only going to be what people on the negative path experience. Those people on the negative path may actually experience an epic Earth catastrophe that is so severe that it includes a pole shift, it includes supervolcanoes going off, burying everything under 30 to 100 feet of rock, and basically a Mad Max Armageddon scenario where if you actually live through it at all, you're going to be struggling for survival. We're beaten back into the Stone Age technologically, and it appears that elements in the Cabal have been anticipating this for quite some time, and that's why they built these vast underground cities. One of the things that we have heard from insiders is that the reason why extraterrestrial time traveler civilizations constantly are building underground is that they see time differently than we do. They can fast forward very easily just by traveling through space, because space and time are interconnected. That's what Einstein taught us. So also, because time is actually a three-dimensional domain, you're not just stuck in only looking forward into the future. You can go in both directions. So those ET civilizations would see, if they fast forward through the solar system, the sun going boof, 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 and it keeps happening. You don't want to be on the surface of a planet when that takes place. That's why there's so many bases inside planets and moons in our solar system because they don't want to be hanging around when these events take place. They see what it does. They see the effect that it has. But here's the thing. If you are on the spiritual ascension timeline, which I believe includes people who are middle of the road, people who are not actually ascending but also are not diabolically evil either, you will be upgraded to a new level of reality where you do not experience a cataclysm. And this actually fits in with a just universe that organizes things based on the law of karma. Karma means that whatever you create comes back to you. When you have people who have done such evil acts so many times, they've done so many horrendous things, they need to be able to balance out all that stuff before they start the next cycle over. The end of a cycle is meant to be that you have a karmic clean slate, so that when you reincarnate again at the beginning of another cycle, which now for them will be on a different planet, that they're not going to have that karma held on. They'll have a memory of it, but they get an opportunity to start over. The memory may cause them to redo the same lessons, but they don't actually carry karma.